Hello friends, welcome to Shiksharthi. In this video, we'll be talking about factors and multiples under the head of numbers. So, let's start. So, as discussed in my first video on factors and multiples, that this would be a series, we would be starting a new series in which we'll be conducting few sessions or few videos on factors and multiples. So this being the second in that series. So today in this session we are going to talk about few things. So before we start, I'll be talking about few terms that I'll be using throughout, and it is requested that you go through those terms before we begin with the video. So Z is the terminology. The moment we use Z, that means I'm talking about an integer. The moment W means a whole number, N means a natural number. When I'm writing f of n, so you would see that I have written f of n. So here n is a number in consideration, and I'm talking about the factors of the number n. TF stands for the total number of factors of the number n. So inside the bracket I am talking about the basic number that has been given to us, and outside the bracket either I am talking about the factors of the given number, or I am talking about the total number of factors of the given number, or I am talking about the total number of even factors. TEF signifies the even factors and TOF signifies the total number of odd factors of the given number. And talking about all these things and few more things that we are going to talk about, we will be doing at least 2 videos on this, and this being the first video on that, though this is the second in terms of factors and multiples, but the agenda for this session will be divided in 2 parts is what we are going to do. Okay, for further discussions, now other than these terms, PF stands for the prime factors. So whenever I am talking about PF of the given number, I am talking about the prime factors of the given number, right? And if I am talking about CF of the given number, I am basically talking about the composite factors of the given number. Yeah. And here I am assuming that the number that has been given to us is a number n, which is written in the format in which I have written this number. Now what is this format? Here P1, P2, P3, so on till Pi is any prime number, and A, B, C, D till Z are the respective powers of that prime number which are present in that given number n that has been given to us. For example, if the value of n is 6, and 6 can be written as 2 to the power 1 into 3 to the power 1, in this case the value of P1 becomes 2, the value of A becomes 1, the value of P2 becomes 3, and the value of B becomes 1. Similarly, if I talk about this number, the number 30, and if I have to compare it with the given number, so the given number here is the value of n here is 30, right? And the value of P1 is 2, the value of A is 1, the value of P2 is 3, the value of B is 1, the value of P3 is 5, and the value of C is 1 again. So what are you expected to do? Whenever somebody talks to you about find out the total number of prime factors, find the total number of composite factors, find the total number of factors of this given number, or total number of even factors of the given number, or total number of odd factors of the given number, you are expected to write the given number in this format only. So what I have done here is I have taken 6 different numbers and I have resolved them in this format only. I hope I am clear on this. Now the terminologies that we are going to talk about in this video, the first thing that we are going to talk about is what are the total number of prime factors, prime factors of the given number, total number of prime factors. though I could have written it as TPF, but please understand PF here represents the prime factors of the given number. CF represents the composite factors. This is what we are going to talk about, first thing. Second thing, so we'll be talking about all these things in all these given examples. Second thing that we are going to talk about is, we had already talked about the divisibility rules of prime numbers, certain prime numbers and certain composite numbers. So in all these 6 examples, we'll be talking about the divisibility rule for that given number. For example, 6, if somebody asks me what is the divisibility rule for 6, we will say that the divisibility rule for 6 is 2 and 3. Similarly, the divisibility rule for 12 is 4 and 3. As discussed, so divisibility, as discussed earlier, if you recall, dividend is equal to divisor into quotient, wherein we know that both the divisor and the quotient are the factors of the dividend. And since they are the factors of the dividend, in that case the dividend becomes the multiple. Third thing that we are going to talk about here is total number of factors of the given number, which is given by this formula. And the formula is, if I am able to write down the number as the product of various prime numbers raised to their respective possible powers in that given number, in that case the total number of factors of that given number comes out to be 1 plus a into 1 plus b into 1 plus c and so on till 1 plus z. This will be the product. Similarly, we will discuss total number of even factors plus the total number of odd factors of the given number is nothing but equal to the total number of factors, right? At the same time, we will also talk about, can we write this as PFN plus CFN plus 1. We will talk about this as well, right? Next thing that we'll be discussing here would be, in how many ways can I write a number as a product of 2 natural numbers, or in how many ways can I write a number as a product of 2 integers. Next thing that we will be discussing here is the thing that we discussed few minutes back is, can I write total number of factors of a given number as the summation of these 3 entities. And the last but not the least, this point number 8 is nothing but the extension of point number 5, which basically talks about in how many ways can a number be written as a product of 2 numbers such that, how many unique values can one of them take. For example, if I am saying that a number is written as a product of 2 numbers, can I say this becomes my multiplicand and the other one is the multiplier? So if I am saying that in how many ways can a number be written as a product of a multiplicand into multiplier, for how many ways, instead of giving the question like this, if I say a number is written as a product of a multiplicand into a multiplier, for how many unique values of the multiplicand? Now, is this the same as saying point number 5? We'll talk about all these things taking a few examples. And in this session, we will take one of the example, and that one example that I'm going to take here is neither an easy one nor a difficult one. I'll take a mid example now. So the mid example here is, I'll take a number as 24. Now once I have taken a number as 24, the very first thing that I need to do here is, I need to factorize 24. I know 24 is an even number. So can I divide it by 2? This is how we factorize. So I get what? 2 into 12 is a 24. Similarly, I keep on factorizing it. And then ultimately I multiply it like this. Now once I am able to multiply, can I say that 24 is nothing but just like saying 2 into 2 into 2 into 3? Which is just like saying, using rules of indices, I'll say this is nothing but 2 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 1. Your practice should be such that without writing this, you should be able to immediately write it as this. Your practice should be such. So as discussed, your focus should be initially on accuracy, followed thereafter by accuracy and speed. Okay, so which we have already written. So talking about point number 1. How many prime factors does 24 have? So can I say the number of prime factors which 24 has is equal to 2 prime factors, and those two prime factors are 2 and 3. How many composite factors does this number have? Now as of now you'll have to count it, so it becomes very difficult to find out the composite factors as of now. So we'll just leave it like this. So point number 1, I have just left it like this, and I know that 1 is a factor which is common to every number. Now the summation of 1 and the total number of composite factors plus the total number of prime factors should be equal to the total number of factors of the given number. So point number 2. Before point number 2, I'll talk about point number 3. Now point number 3 talks about the total number of factors of 24. So the total number of factors of 24 would be 1 plus a. What is the value of a here? 3. So we'll say 1 plus 3. What is the value of b here? The value of b here is 1. So can I say this number will in total have 8 factors? Yes. Now once I know that the total number of factors of 24 are 8, and I know that prime factors plus 1, which is the standalone factor, there are 3 factors, so the total number of composite factors would be how many? There would be 5 composite factors of the given number, which is 24. Okay, talking about point number 2 now. What is the divisibility rule for 24? So as discussed, the divisibility rule is decided by dividend is equal to divisor into quotient. So here, if this is the divisor, this becomes the quotient. If this is the quotient, in that case, this becomes the divisor. So we will say the divisibility rule for 24 is 8 and 3. So a number which is divisible by 8 and 3 both is a number which will be divisible by 24, and a number which is divisible by 24 will be divisible both by 8 and 3. What is the divisibility rule for 8? We have already talked about it. Last three digits from the right hand side. And what is the divisibility rule for 3? Addition of the digits. Right? Now let us talk about point number 4. Now we know the total number of factors are 8. So can I find out the total number of even factors of 24? Yes. One way is I write down all the factors and then I count the number of even factors among them. Another way here is I can find out the total number of odd factors of 24 first. Now I know an odd number is not divisible by 2. So can I put my hand here? Now what is the reason of putting a hand here? We are looking for odd factors, and the odd factors will not come from powers of 2. So if I put my hand here, it is just like saying that I am left with only 3 to the power 1. Now 3 to the power 1, 3 is an odd number, and any odd number raised to any power, any natural number power, will give me an odd number only. Now 3 to the power 1 will give me how many odd factors? So just using the same formula, had it been only p1 to the power a, this would have given me how many factors? It would have given me a plus 1 factors. So the total number of odd factors of 24 are 2, and we know the total number of factors. So in that case, how much is 8 minus 2? 6. This is one way of doing it. Another way is I find out the total number of even factors. So how do I do it? So the best way to do this is, I am just taking this discussion on this side. So can I say 24 can be written as, now 24 is an even number, and we know that an even number can be written as a product of 2 with any other natural number, which is just like saying 2n. So now this can be written as 2 into 12, right? Now once you have written this, just break this number into its prime numbers and prime number powers, which is just like saying giving you this number. So can I now say that all the factors of 12 which will come from here eventually they'll get multiplied by 2. So any factor of 12, whether it is an even factor or an odd factor, when it is coming outside and it is getting multiplied by 2, eventually all the factors coming out from here when multiplied by 2 become even factors only. So if I'm able to find out the total number of factors of 12, which is just like saying 2 plus 1, which is 3, and 1 plus 1, which is 2, all these factors when multiplied by this 2 henceforth become what? Even factors only, which is just like saying total number of even factors are 6. And once you would have found this out, in that case you could have found out total number of odd factors by subtracting it from the total number of factors. So as discussed earlier also, if you are not understanding something which is being discussed for the very first time, it is very, very natural. But then if you have not understood, you should make some efforts to understand it further, for which you can always watch and practice it yourself. Okay, point number 5. So point number 5 talks about in how many ways can I write this number as a product of two numbers. In how many ways? So can I say now this 24 can be written as 1 into 24. This can also be written as 2 into 12. This can also be written as 3 into 8. This can also be written as 4 into 6. And then after this you will see that now you will get 6 into 4, then 8 into 3, then you get 12 into 2, and finally you get 24 into 1. Right, which is just like saying repetition, because 1 into 24 you have already taken, and then you are getting another as 24 into 1. So in how many ways can you write this? So if I count the total number of factors, which was just like saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I divide it by 2, which I have already written here. So if somebody asks you, in how many ways can a number be written as a product of two natural numbers, right? So your answer is what? Total number of factors of the given number divided by 2. Why 2? Because they get repeated. And this we will talk about in the second session, when we take another example. When would this be applied? Now the next point to be discussed here is point number 6. So point number 6 talks about in how many ways can a number be written as a product of two integers. Now when I say two integers, I am basically talking about plus into plus gives me plus, or I can say minus into minus gives me plus again. And if the number was positive, for example the number was 24, so all these cases that we had written here, all these cases can be counted under the head of plus 1 into plus 24, plus 2 into plus 12, plus 3 into plus 8, plus 4 into plus 6. At the same time, now why will I not take these cases? Because I have already taken those cases earlier. At the same time, I will talk about minus 1 into minus 24, minus 2 into minus 12, minus 3 into minus 8, minus 4 into minus 6. So at the end of the day, you get an answer which is in how many ways? You can write it in 8 ways, and 8 is nothing but the total number of factors of this given number. So can we say here the answer will be, if the question is in how many ways can a number be written as a product of two integers, the answer is nothing but total number of factors of the given number, or the answer may be total number of factors of the given number plus 1 divided by 2, which we'll be talking about in the second session. Now point number 7 and point number 8 in a certain way we have already discussed. So I am giving it to you as a homework so that you can practice it on your own. But any homework should be practiced only once you have gone through the basics and the concepts which would have been discussed in the video. Thereafter, for the sake of practice, you can do the homework. Now, if you feel that something really important has been discussed in this video which enhances your knowledge base, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you have already done so, select the bell icon and select all so that you get updates regularly. Thank you so much. Until next we meet, goodbye.